The 5-minute promise. Ryan was an ordinary office worker. Every morning, he rushed out the door with a cup of coffee in one hand and his phone in the other. He spent hours sitting at his desk, telling himself that he was too busy to exercise. Every evening, he came home exhausted, promising that tomorrow would be different. But tomorrow never seemed to arrive. One rainy evening, while cleaning an old drawer, Ryan found a faded photograph of himself from 10 years ago. In the picture, he was smiling at the top of a mountain after finishing a long hike with his friends. He remembered how energetic he used to feel and how easily he could run, climb, and laugh without getting tired. Looking at the photo, he quietly asked himself, what happened to that person? The answer wasn't that he had become lazy. Life had simply become busy. Work, responsibilities, and endless distractions slowly pushed his health to the bottom of his priority list. It didn't happen overnight. It happened one missed workout, one skipped walk, and one excuse at a time. That night, Ryan made himself a promise. Not to lose 20 pounds. Not to run a marathon. Not to spend 2 hours in the gym. He made a much smaller promise. I'll move my body for just 5 minutes every day. The next morning, he woke up earlier than usual. He cleared a small space in his living room and started marching in place. At first, it felt strange. 5 minutes seemed too short to make any difference, but he reminded himself that keeping a small promise was better than breaking a big one. After warming up, he did a few squats. His legs felt heavy, and he couldn't go very low, but that didn't matter. Every squat reminded him that strength isn't built in a single day. It's built one repetition at a time. Then he placed his hands against the wall and began doing wall push-ups. Each push felt like he was pushing away years of excuses. He wasn't competing with anyone else. He was only trying to become a little better than yesterday. Next came knee raises. As he lifted each knee, he imagined himself climbing invisible steps toward the person he wanted to become. The journey wasn't easy, but every step brought him closer to his goal. After that, he lay down on a mat and performed glute bridges. He focused on his breathing, slowly lifting and lowering his hips. For the first time in months, he wasn't thinking about emails, deadlines, or notifications. He was simply present in the moment. Finally, he held a short plank. His arms began to shake, and he almost gave up. Then he remembered the mountain in that old photograph. He smiled and held on for just a few more seconds before gently lowering himself to the floor. 5 minutes had passed. It didn't seem like much, but something had changed. Ryan felt proud, not because he had completed a difficult workout, but because he had kept the promise he made to himself. The next day, he did it again. Then the next. Soon, 5 minutes became a daily habit. Weeks turned into months. His energy returned. His posture improved. His confidence grew. People at work noticed the difference. Friends asked him what fitness program he was following. They expected him to reveal a complicated workout plan or an expensive gym membership. Instead, Ryan smiled and gave them a simple answer. I stopped waiting for the perfect time. I just started with 5 minutes. That answer surprised everyone because it sounded too simple. But the truth is, most life-changing habits begin with small actions repeated consistently. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't even need an hour every day. You only need the courage to begin. Maybe today you're watching this video while thinking that you're too busy, too tired, or too out of shape to start. But remember Ryan's story. His life didn't change because he found more time. His life changed because he finally used the time he already had. So make yourself the same promise today. Just 5 minutes. One workout. One step. One better choice than yesterday. Because a healthier life doesn't begin with a giant leap. It begins with a single decision to start. And who knows? A year from now, you might look back and realize that the best thing you ever did was give yourself those first 5 minutes.